Good morning, pretties. Welcome to Coffee Chat. I am happy to be back live this week. I always miss you guys whenever I pre-record. I know that sounds really weird, but it's true. I feel like something's missing in my life. Like last week, 9:30 rolled around and I knew my video was going live and I wanted to pre-record it because I was doing that behind the scenes sneak peek of the membership site. So whenever it went live, I was like, wait, I'm supposed to be doing something now. Oh, coffee chat. Anyway, hi, happy Friday. I hope your morning is off to a good start. You'll notice I'm in a new venue right now because it is so pretty out today. Oh my gosh. The birds are going crazy. They are so happy that it's spring. There's a little woodpecker in the tree outside of our living room. And I just thoroughly enjoyed being outside this morning with my cup of coffee and taking in all of the sounds of nature. And all the little leaves are coming out on the trees, which means the pollen is also coming out. So we cleaned all of our porches and outdoor living spaces up last week. And then like 2 days later, everything is covered in green dust. So I'm like, oh, we've got to go through and clean everything this weekend. I'm tempted to just wait until all the trees are out and then all the pollen will be over with. It's the same thing with washing my car. I'm like, I don't want to wash my car this week, although it's filthy, but I know it's just going to get covered in pollen. So anyway, are the trees out in your area yet? Let me know. Good morning. Hi, Julie. Hi, Mandy. Thank you for tuning in. So this morning, we've got a juicy topic. Yeah. Do you have an inner bully in your head? Because I do. So I wanted to talk about this. It's been on my mind for a while, actually. It's something that I think a lot of us struggle with is speaking compassionately to ourselves and having quieting that bully down in our heads. And this week, I really started to kind of take notice of the times that I say things to myself that are just not nice at all. Things that I would never say to another human being. But I have this constant inner dialogue that I have to, number one, be aware of, and number two, change. And that's not always easy because if you have been doing this all your life, I'm 47, I've been doing this all my life. It is not easy, but self-awareness is key. So I'm going to talk to you about some tips and tricks that I'm learning. And I feel like this is something that I don't have resolved. And, you know, I think I've read before that you're supposed to share from your scars, not your wounds. And while I do agree with that, it's good to have some kind of resolution or be, you know, ahead on the journey. I don't think you have to have something completely resolved in order to share your experiences and share what's working for you. So I'm just being very real with you here that I don't have this under control, but I'm working on it. And that's what matters because sometimes you just got to be one step ahead in the journey, right? Good morning. Hi, Melody. Hi, Ann. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So let's talk first about awareness. I think that that's the first thing that's really the key to any change that you want to make in life is you have got to be self-aware. Like, what are you saying to yourself throughout the day? And stop yourself and actually become aware of that, because I think so many of us get on autopilot in our lives that we don't really just kind of take that step back from our thoughts and realize that we are not our thoughts. We can separate ourselves from them. And I had an opportunity to do this yesterday. I find that my self-bullying happens in a couple of key areas. One of them is around my appearance. Another one is around my age, which is tied to appearance. And the third is the perception that I'm supposed to be further along in some area that I am. Those are my three top triggers and reasons why I bully myself. But yesterday I had a really tough call to make in my business. And it's something I kind of was procrastinating a little bit on. I needed to do it weeks ago. Finally got to a point yesterday where the discomfort of not doing it was overriding the discomfort of doing it. Say yes if you relate to that. So I went ahead and made this tough call and delivered some news to somebody that I knew was going to let them down or disappoint them, I guess, basically. And I don't like letting people down. So but I knew it was the right thing for me. I knew in my heart and my gut, everything all checked out, and it was all aligning with my integrity and my authenticity and all of that. So I knew it was the right decision. It just wasn't an easy one. And I feel that I make a lot of those tough calls in my business and in my life. So after I did it, I just kind of closed my laptop. I walked away. I went to get my nails done. because I thought that would be a great thing to do, just to kind of give myself a little bit of self-care after making that decision. But as I was driving to the nail salon, the bully started talking to me and saying all these things. And I decided that I was done with it. And I said, nope, I'm not going to do this. First of all, I became aware of it. And secondly, I started saying nice things to myself. I thought, hey, Allison, what would you say to your kids if they just made this tough decision? I would say, wow, that was a really brave thing to do. Or I'm super proud of you for doing that. Or I know how hard it is for you to let people down. And the fact that you took that step, like, makes me so incredibly proud of you. I'm tearing up. So I started saying those things to myself, and I thought, why would I beat myself up over this? Why would I say these mean things that I would never say to another human, but I say them to myself? Why is that okay? And I really realized that self-compassion is key. Anytime we are judging ourselves or judging other people for that fact, that is a clue that we need to tune in to self-compassion. And when you're kind to yourself, and I think that this has a lot to do with it. I always thought I had to be tough on myself and hard on myself and put myself down and all these things if I ever wanted to get anywhere in life, that was the key to it, that I had to criticize myself. But I've come to realize through the years that that's not the key to doing anything well. It's not the key to being a good leader or a good parent or a good spouse or a good anything. Self-compassion is the key to that. And the kinder that you are to yourself, the more you bring out. Think about it. Your favorite teachers and coaches, were they the ones that put you down all the time? No. They were the ones who lifted you up, the ones that made you see your potential. So why can't we be our own coaches and teachers and show that kind of kindness and self-compassion to ourselves? So really, that's where it starts. Number one is awareness. Stop yourself. I have a few tips and tricks for this. I'm starting to journal about it. And whenever I catch myself saying these mean things, I am going to be aware of this and I'm going to journal about it. If I'm in the car, I'm somewhere else where my thoughts are wandering, I'm not going to always have that luxury, but I can come back to it later and talk about it. So that's the first thing. And then secondly, I'm going to start speaking more kindly to myself. Whenever I do catch myself doing that, that's going to be the trigger to say, nope, what would you say to your kids? And I want you to find someone in your mind that you would speak compassionately to, whether it's a parent or a kid or somebody else in your life or a spouse, and start practicing speaking to yourself the way that you would speak to them. And really, that's your assignment and mine this weekend and going forward every day of our lives. Like, let's start here today. Let's make this commitment to ourselves. And Angie's recommending a really great book by Shad Helmstetter, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. So you can find that on Amazon. She said this is a life changer. I'm going to look that up, Angie. Thanks for the tip. If any of you have any tips or some books that you want to share, please do so in the comments. I would love to find some resources on this, and I think that this is something that, I've been in therapy for years and I am a huge proponent for therapy. I think everybody can benefit from it. And this is one of the things that my therapist has really challenged me to work on, is being more compassionate with myself. And I'm committing to that. And I hope that you'll commit to it with me. Let's be kinder to ourselves. Let's talk kinder to ourselves. When you're looking in the mirror every day and you catch yourself, I just did it this morning because I'm in awareness mode now. When I was putting lotion on, I'm like, gosh, my elbows are wrinkly. Stop. Why? What is that about? Like, what benefit is that to me? I'm putting myself down and being mean to myself, and there's no point in it. Absolutely none. It does nothing for me. It does not better me. It does not make me, it doesn't challenge me. It does no good. So anyway, I don't have this all figured out yet, but I'm going to stop myself. And I think just like anything else, that the more you practice things, the more you believe it and the more you live into it. So let's practice self-compassion with ourselves and with each other. And Anne says her husband and her do this. No one is allowed to talk about my husband negatively, including him, and vice versa. I love this. I saw this one time on a post. One of my friends posted something mean about her body on Facebook. And one of her friends said in the comments, I don't like it when my friend says these things about herself. And I was like, wow, yes. Yes, I don't like it when my husband says these things about himself, and I don't like you talking about my husband like that. That's what I say to Craig sometimes. Don't talk about my husband like that. So yes, practice this. I think this is such good advice. Hey, Lauren, good morning. Lauren says she battles her inner critic constantly and has learned to ask her inner critic, what are you afraid of, or what are you trying to protect me from? Ooh, yes. Game changer to help me get to the bottom of the criticism. Those are great questions. What am I afraid of? What are you trying to protect me from? So good. Yes, it is about that self-awareness, asking those questions. So thank you all for tuning in this morning. I hope you'll keep this conversation going in the comments. I think that we have a lot that we can share with each other with experiences in this area, and we have a lot that we have to learn from each other too. So take care of each other, and I will see you back here next week. Thanks for tuning in.